Dennis Maroney, 439 Fishkill Avenue. How you guys doing? Good.
Hello, Dennis.
To the mayor, Police Chief Schofield, and the City Council, by not looking into what really happened and by not telling the truth about last St. Patrick's Day's event, you cost the city over $100,000 in lost revenue and the taxpayers probably another $50,000 by spending it on the wrong problem. The only problem that happened last year was that a few police officers did not know how to do their job. If the police chief had listened to the people who were assaulted and tasered, we would have spent the money retraining some of our police force on how to treat people with respect instead of taking riot training. A riot almost caused, but did not happen. There were no rioting people last year. There were a few out-of-control police officers tasering handcuffed individuals. Some officers should have been suspended or fired. You yourself, Mr. Mayor, were there and told me, quote, "I saw 250 people and it could have been bad. I saw no one fighting, but it could have been bad." Could have. Could have is not what you and the chief of police have been saying for the last year. You lied to the people in Beacon, knowing no riot happened last year. 2 people got into a fight, but it was easier to blame it on an event than on the police. If any of you on the board stood up or looked into the allegations against the police, you could have saved the city of Beacon thousands of dollars this year and for years to come by investigating the real problem. Instead, it was easier to just not look into it and blame it on the crawl. I was there. Unlike any of you, I was there when this nonsense started at Dunkin' Donuts. From the very beginning, I saw the whole screw-up happen as it happened. I was not contacted. When I talked to some of you about it, all I could get out of you was, it got too big. The police said it was out of control. Well, it did get big, but we could have worked on that. It was a few inexperienced or unqualified police officers out of control that none of you, I guess out of fear, wanted to do anything about. No, it was easier to keep lying about what really happened. Mr. Mayor, you never wanted this event, so you found it easier and more convenient to blame it on the crawlers. By not listening, investigating, or caring, you have cost the city and the business owners thousands in taxes and lost revenues. All of you let the city down. Your job is to make the city of Beacon better, not to blindly listen to a few. By slandering the pub crawl, yes, the pub crawl, the most successful and profitable event the city has ever had in making not only money for the businesses, but in raising money for some person or family in Beacon, Beacon suffered. This year, the businesses suffered, but no one suffered more than the taxpayers and the people who we raise money for. I hope you're proud of yourselves, especially you, Mayor Gold. No one painted a worse picture of Beacon than you and your minions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maroney. Okay, thank you. Just a few comments. One is I really can't let one of the comments made by the public go unresponded to. This was some criticisms about the police in the last pub crawl. I was there, not this last year, but the year before this in 2009, and I was there 15 minutes before the fight broke out, and believe me, it was like an imminent storm that was coming, and the police had every reason to be apprehensive about what took place, and there was a fight, and the police did what they had to do. There was a large degree of crowd control that they had to take care of, and I think that they acted appropriately, and it was a very dangerous situation. There were about 200 inebriated people, and this is what can happen. And I certainly wish the pub crawl would be a terrific event for the city, but that event that happened in 2009, the city council and I believe that I and the police and the administrator acted very appropriately this year in doing what we needed to do to prevent the public from being subjected to what might have happened. We did have, regardless of what the gentleman that was here, who I believe owns a an establishment that receives quite a bit of revenue from the pub crawl. He may have had his own particular viewpoint of it for that reason. We at the City Council received numerous complaints in 2009 about kind of despicable acts that were taking place on the streets, and we had a responsibility to the public to make sure that fights and those types of things didn't happen again. Okay.